Hello, and welcome to the Equus Film and Arts Fest podcast, the only program for horse lovers who have a fondness for horses in film, art, and literature. Each week, we will have interesting conversations with equestrian filmmakers, artists, and authors from around the world, discussing the nature and challenges as well as the triumphs of creating their work. Ready to talk horses and film and the arts? Here's your host, Julianne Neal, along with Lisa Dearson, festival founder and director.
Well, welcome to season 2 of the Equus Film and Arts Fest podcast. I'm your host, Julianne Neal, and I'm really excited. I'm here today with Lisa Dearson, the founder and director of the festival. Lisa,
hi everybody, and hi Julianne. It's so good to see everybody.
It is so good to see you. And I mean, we've all had this sort of slowdown. We figured it was a good time to start season 2 since we're trying to get back in the swing of things. And so with everything virtual, or most things virtual these days, we got a lot going on, but you never stopped. You're like the workhorse, keeping on going, and you're doing something all the time. So have you been holding up?
Good. It's just, we've got the channel going, so it's constantly getting more films. We've gotten 31 books now have been entered into the festival for this year. So the literary portion of the festival is really strong. Our films are a little off this year, but a lot of people couldn't get out and make any content. So what we do have is good. We probably have 15, 16 hours worth of shorts and features. So it's going to be a fun weekend. And of course, the Equus Film Festival will be virtual this year. So
yeah.
It'll be a little different, but everybody will still get a chance. I actually think it's going to be a little better because we'll have a chance to do a lot more interviews with virtually and set them up ahead of time, so that pretty much anybody that wants to is part of the festival, whether they're an artist or an author or a filmmaker, will have done an interview with either you or Diana or myself, and they'll be able to watch the Zoom interviews on it. So that's a kind of a nice perk in there. So
yeah, well, good. We're doing things so different these days, and it feels like we're kind of getting into the swing of it. So by then it'll be good.
Sure.
But I hope by next year we'll be back in person.
That's what everybody's hoping.
Yeah.
Well, we're late enough in the year that I think by that time in 2021 it's going to be a little bit better. So
yeah, definitely. Well, you're also doing some online things like leading up to the November, December. Well, first of all, what's the date for the Equus Film Festival?
Oh, you would ask. It is now, because we're not going to do the Thursday because of course we're not there doing our party.
Right.
It'll be November 14th and 15th, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 13th, 14th, 15th.
Okay.
So, all right. In November.
You'll send me do you have any kind of blurbs done up?
I'll set it. We're going to launch the website page this week, so that kind of letting everybody know we wanted to wait till the 1st of September and make sure that everything is for sure not happening anywhere else. So
right. And we'll drop all that in the show notes so people can click on it and know. So yeah, well, that's good. But leading up to that, you have something coming up this weekend. You have another thing in October. You're doing all kind of a virtual setup already, right?
Well, we're helping the Some Horses Expo, an event, which was just going to be a little Winnie Film Fest that they were going to be running at their event, one of our Winnie tour stops, little 2.5-hour film. And they decided that they had to go become a virtual event because of COVID. So instead of just totally losing everything with the event, I told the lady who's running the event, her name is Trish Banks, I told her I'd help her if her exhibitors would send me their videos. We would put them together and make them available in a virtual Some Horses Expo, an event of the Northeast event. So we've got from the films that we were going to show, and we've got The Edge, of course, in there, but Hal Middleton has a really nice demo. Janet Barrett, who wrote a Sergeant Reckless book, is got a beautiful hour-long presentation on her book. Leslie Desmond, who is just lightness, lightness, lightness. Just watching her presentation was so pleasant. Ty March, Jason Charles, which these are all presenters that are from the area. And then there's Trace Amigas, which is 3 mounted shooters. And they're all kind of doing a little presentation on what they would be presenting at the Some Horses event. So that's, that's kind of cool that, we're able to help the people still be able to see, what they would see if they were there, and they can access it the full weekend. It's available Friday morning till Monday night over Labor Day weekend. You just have to go to their website and sign up. It's free for everybody to watch. So if you want to watch some of these kind of really interesting presenters, and I would watch it just to watch the Leslie Desmond presentation because it's so beautiful. And sign up and you can watch for the weekend.
That's awesome. And it's all free?
That event is free. And then we're doing Equitana this, the month of September will be, every week we'll have a different collection of Winnie films. So we'll have a different Winnie Film Festival available. And then as the presenters that are also part of Equus are falling into where they would be presenting at Equitana, like Bruce and Sandra Ballou, and we'll have all of those presentations available on those days. So Sue Ann Wells with When the Dust Settles. So people will be able to sign up. Again, this is another free event, which is really nice because Equitana is going to have quite a few great presenters through the month of September. So you can go to the Equitana.com, EquitanaUSA.com website to pick up and find and watch where to link it or see where to link in with that. And then we've partnered one of our new sponsors this year is the Brook USA, which is, they take care of educating the world about working equids, horses, donkeys, mules. And other than in the United States, all around the world, horses, donkeys, and mules are still part of day-to-day life. Taking care of people, carrying goods, brick making, going into the mines. I mean, they're still using horses and donkeys and mules all over. So they educate people who own the horses and the donkeys and the mules on how to care for them properly to have them working longer and being a better part of the workforce. They're healthy, so it's really kind of cool. So we're doing a virtual event for them October 15th and 16th, which is a ticketed event. But our filmmaker, Doug Maddox, who made the wonderful story, The Christmas Branch, has a follow-up feature film now called Hope's Legacy. And it's an eventing eventing feature film, which follows the story from the Christmas Ranch, and the couple gets married and she's out competing eventing wise. And it's really a really pretty exciting feature film, and we'll show When the Dust Settles. And we're going to have a special sneak peek at a new documentary coming up called Hoof Dreams, which is about women eventers. And we're going to have that, their trailer, their sizzle will be unveiled in the Brookfest. But the Brookfest is a ticketed event, and it's a $25 to $150 a piece tickets. You can get the tickets on Brook website, Brook USA. And they have a very special treat for people who purchase the $150 ticket. That will be, it's this amazing cake that gets delivered to the house. It's like, oh my gosh, it's a special Brook cake. And so there's all kinds of fun things happening before our event happens.
Yeah. Well, and I have to put in a little plug for the Brook USA folks, because we're launching a podcast for them, and it will come out September 10th prior to their event. We'll have a couple of episodes, and we'll get to hear from maybe Doug Maddox and always with a Brook USA ambassador and a Brook USA board member, and hear some of the exciting things that they're doing. So it's great for all that cross working together.
Right. And what they do is so incredible. So
it really is. It really is. So
we'll have a lot of little short features in their kind of lineup for the weekend that'll people can see what they do here and in Guatemala and Senegal and just around the world, India.
Exactly.
So our next book will probably involve polo horses and Rupa's film. So that'll be fun.
Awesome. That'll be wonderful. Yeah. So a lot going on. And you mentioned Sandra a few minutes ago. She's actually going to be our first guest for season 2. So today we'll be speaking with her a little bit. And and I know she's been part of the Equus herd for quite some time. You know,
well,
I met her at WEG, but you know her from long ago.
Well, hold for 1 second and I'll grab her new book that's out.
Yes.
Yeah.
This episode of the Equus Film and Arts Fest podcast is sponsored in part by Nature's View, the Marley Project, and JA Media Productions. To learn more about what we do, visit naturesview.us.
Okay, we're really excited to have this new entry in the Equus Film Festival Literary Corral. Sandra's new freestyle book. Yay! It's beautiful. And of course, Mario's in a little bit. But I'm so proud of Sandra. Progress Square has published her book, and it's like, oh my gosh, we knew her when she was part WAG with us. So that's a very fun book to have entered this year.
I just was looking back through pictures and she was there in costume and I saw the artwork and her trailer for the film and just all kinds of stuff with her, and then Mario and Jill and Bruce and everybody pretty much, even though we weren't able to do the regular.
Right. That was another strange week because that we had to deal with the hurricane and with the pyroplasmosis with the horses. So they canceled all of the horses coming in, and Sandra and Mario and all of Yvonne all stepped up to the plate and did presentations. They were such a professional group of horsemen to keep the people who did come there engaged, even though they didn't get a chance to see their horses and see what they really could do. So
exactly, yeah.
That was, to me, was the consummate horse professional, always learning how to just roll with the punches.
And to make the most of it for the people who were attending. So we know ahead of time now we're doing a lot of virtual stuff, but at that point we didn't know until that day or that weekend what was going to happen. So
exactly.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun, but I'm looking forward to speaking with her, and I know you're going to enjoy hearing what all she has to say.
Well, and who would have known then where we would be 2 years later?
That's exactly
because there was nothing that we could do that got the horses there, and just like now, there's nothing that we can do to get the people here.
Right,
it's just the way it has to be. So we've got to punt and learn how to do it as best we can.
Right. Well, speaking of the horses, how are things with your guys? Are you able to ride and go and barn?
We're still on limited time at the barn, but that's okay. We're still getting a chance to work. I'm still getting a chance to kind of do everything with everybody. So it's fun. It's,
good.
Any time at the barn for me is good.
Yeah,
any
definitely.
Barn time.
Well, I think it's going to be a fun season too. I'm looking forward to catching up with some of the folks that we've known from before, but learning more about some of the new folks coming into the Equus herd too. So I'm glad to kick it off with a good one.
Yep. We've got a lot of great people coming in this year.
That's great. Well, it's good to talk to you, Lisa, and we'll be touching base again in a week or two.
Okay. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Pony on.
Mark your calendars, folks, for a very special film event. Brook USA will be premiering Hope's Legacy, a movie by Douglas B. Maddox, starring Diane Cannon. The movie is the sequel to A Christmas Ranch, which aired on Hallmark. Dates for this event are Thursday, October 15th at 4 p.m. and Friday, October 16th until 11:59 p.m. Access to the pre-selected content provided by Brook USA will start at 4 p.m. The movie premieres at 7. The premiere of Hope's Legacy serves as the kickoff of The Power of One, Brook USA's latest campaign set to raise $1 million over the next 12 months. Ticket prices begin at $25 for general admission. There's also a $150 VIP ticket that includes the home delivery of a custom-made caramel cake. These are provided by Caroline's Cakes and include a $100 tax-deductible donation to Brook USA. Caroline's Cakes are distinctly Southern layer cakes made from treasured family recipes. The legendary caramel cake recipe is a time-honored tradition made by hand with a delicate process and careful attention to detail. This virtual event is provided through a designated sub-channel on the Equus Film Channel, solely for usage by Brook USA.
Well, our next guest on the podcast today is Trish Banks, who is the organizer of Some Horses Events and Expo of the Northeast, which I think the title in itself gets me excited. It sounds like so much fun. It's going to be virtual presentations and Winnie Film Fest this year. So Trish, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much, Julianne. I appreciate you inviting me.
Well, and I know you've had kind of a long day, and you, when we spoke earlier, you had a tree on your fence and you're out working on the tractor. So that just reminds me that the horse people who are also event coordinators still have life to live, horses to take care of, barns to clean, and all that. So kudos to you for all of it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's just goes with the territory. So all of us that have horses are doing a juggling act.
Right. Well, can you tell us a little bit first of all about the event? Like let's say that this whole pandemic had not happened. The first time I spoke with you, I think it was January last year, and you had big plans. So what is the event in and of itself? What is the Some Horses event?
The event is it's bringing together clinics and demonstrations so that people can learn and be introduced to horses and horsemanship. And it already will have ongoing, there was already, and it still continues, a horse festival, which is a collection of horse shows. And all of this is on the state fairgrounds. It's a 1/4 square acre. And then, of course, we would have vendors so that people could shop. I also want to integrate a model horse show for those who are not hands-on horsemen, but they're very, very passionate about their hobby as well, which a lot of them do have an extensive knowledge of horses, either by owning or just because the model horses are that detailed.
Sure.
But I was really hoping to bring a lot of variety where everyone could be introduced and learn something new and exciting. We were going to have a mounted shooting demonstration as well as a clinic. We were going to have an introduction to cow work, and then we were going to have Leslie Desmond bringing along 2 young horses and show everyone how she works horses through feel. And that's something that I'm very passionate about as well. I've been working with my horses based on those principles, and it's quite different than what I have seen in the past at a lot of the expos and other clinics. So I really wanted to integrate that.
So this rampant is not a rampant, but it's a moment in time. And to me, this is not a horse, but infinite possibilities. This is a metaphor of your significant other, your co-workers, life and death. So in helping the horse, because he's a pre-animal, he's going to react immediately to my actions, letting me know what habits are beneficial or not.
Working with the horses have helped my self-confidence because through my middle school years, I was bullied, and I've learned from the horses that I am who I am. Like, they don't judge me for the things that I have wrong, because everyone has things wrong. Even the horses. We have horses here that are blind, some are deaf, some are overweight. So I feel like you take what you have and you run with it.
These ponies have an amazing ability once you gain their trust. They care for you, they believe in you, and they look for you for leadership. When someone's looking for you for leadership, you can't fail them. And that's an amazing thing. You stop worrying about yourself.
That's exciting. Well, I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, that just gets maybe moved to next year. But with everything that is going on, you've decided to run things in a virtual format. So how is that going to be set up?
It's set up through the Equus Film Festival Network channel. And with their help, we were going to do the Winnie Film Fest at the live event. And when I last moment just saw that it wasn't going to happen, I really did have my fingers crossed that we could have a live event, but as time wore on, it looked less and less likely. So when I finally decided to just push everything to next year, I called Lisa at the Equus Film Festival, and I said, if we can, I'd like to, at least offer the Winnie Film Fest online. And she says, oh yes, you can go virtual. And I was like, well, I was thinking that we could have just a short introduction by everyone. She said, oh no, put everything online. And I all of a sudden went blank with like, oh my goodness, how do we do this? How do we take live people and put them online doing what we wanted to do in the first place? So it really is just a little sampling of some of what the presenters were going to offer. And I got a couple others on board that may make it to 2021 as well.
Great.
So, some of the presentations have been online before, and this just gives everybody a little bit more variety to see, and so for a 30-day 30-day, let's make this as big as we can in 30 days. This is what we did by video and film, and I thank you and Bruce very much for participating and contributing to this, and especially Lisa for coordinating all of it so that we could do it this way.
Well, she's a force of nature, I believe. I mean, if she's got it in her head that she can do something or we can do something, it's going to happen. So you were a wise woman just to go along with it and say yes.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, I think I see some of my own pushiness in that as well. So I've enjoyed working with her. She's
absolutely
great to work with, and I'm so appreciative to her as well for putting this all together and taking a lot of time to make it happen.
Right. And it is so much work, and she is at it all the time, and she works tirelessly, and it's always for the better life of horses. And so the whole Equus herd, the whole Equus family really appreciates everything she does. So now you're a part of that crowd and part of that group. And so that's a good thing. Well, it looks like you have a really interesting lineup and a lot of variety. So, but one of my interested, or one of the things that made me interested was that I was looking at pricing and thinking, how much are people going to have to pay? So that's the good news, right? How did you arrange your pricing?
I had already invested in the Winnie film, and I had already signed up the presenters. So they still plan on coming in 2021, but I really, really wanted as many people as possible to be able to see what it is that I think that is just something I would like everyone to note. And it's not every day that you can see some of these folks, and even though they travel extensively, they only get to some certain regions, and they like helping people and their horses. And so this is just a great way for everyone to get a little taste of some of what they do.
And it's free.
And it's free. So, it's free. Yeah. This year it is free. Yes.
It's a great Labor Day weekend. You stay at home and enjoy. You get to see all of this in the comfort of your own home. That was one of the things you put on your website that I thought was really cool. That, yeah, we can go out and do our horsey thing outside for a little while and then come in and relax. So good idea.
Yes, I think that there are still a lot of events happening Labor Day weekend, which I'm very happy that everyone is out enjoying their horses, and that truly what all of this is about. But those events are so limited in participation that this is, just a little bit extra for everybody to do Labor Day weekend with their horses. And a lot of the things that they see online, they can actually try doing some of those things with their horses and contact the presenters and get more ideas on how they can help their horse, or where those people are doing clinics where, in the smaller arenas that they are still happening.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we appreciate so much everything that you've done. We definitely look forward to a reunion in 2021. And so for folks who do want to find out a little bit more, you can always go to the Equus Film Festival website, which is equusfilmfestival.net, or they can come to your website, which is somehorsesexpo.com. Is that the best place to find out a little bit more about what you're planning?
Yes. If you look at the website, I have the most up-to-date information there, or you can also sign up on the contact list. There's a couple of contact boxes where if you include your email, as soon as I have information that brings everybody up to date, I'll zip everybody an email that way as well, so you don't have to keep going back to the website.
Yeah, good idea. Very good. Well, Trish, thank you again. And we look forward. I'm going to just pretend like we're right there in Vermont with you this weekend. And I know people are going to really enjoy it. So thank you for setting that up.
Well, thank you again for joining us. And we look forward to meeting you next year.
You too. Thanks. Have a good night.
I will. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Please be sure to tune in next week when Julianne and I have another interesting conversation with one of our Equus Film and Arts Fest filmmakers, artists, or authors.